Okay, so we're going to do a little tour of Fairview Developmental Center because not a lot of people know, have any idea how large it is and how empty it is. So right now we're at the entrance, looking back at the entrance at Harbor Boulevard and Fair Drive. So a busy intersection. There's a nice bus stop there, but let's start in. It's a facility right now that's being used for people with developmental needs. And it was opened back in 1959 as a mental hospital. Okay, so this is the administration building, the entrance, and there's a little map here that shows all the different facilities. So, John, if you can take a picture of that and actually go over there and maybe get it where you can show all the writing. It's located right now, it's on 141 acres. And most of the residents, there used to be a lot of residents, but they are being moved out into community care facilities because the center is closing. It's supposed to close as of 2021, but I believe that they're actually going to close it sooner. And one of the main reasons is because as the residents moved out, there was still the same amount of employees. So there are about 4 employees for every resident. And that cost, I forget what it cost, like $500,000 a year. So it was really sucked up money because it wasn't efficient. Now there's a few people left in that. That's mostly like a nursing medical facility right there. So they, basically they're people that are in being looked at 24/7. There's a nice little green area over there. Nice little bit of park, and then they had some kind of a campground area, or some picnic tables and some stuff past there. So this is one of the residences. A lot of them sort of have sort of a U shape or a V shape to the building when you see it from above. Some more residences. And then over to your left, that's a swimming pool. And last time I checked, it was occupied by frogs. So not getting a lot of use, but could be refurbished. Sad to see it empty. And then up ahead there's the auditorium. Haven't been in there, but could possibly be used for an emergency homeless shelter. Put some beds in there. And then over to your right there's the activity center. So you could have like art classes and Zumba lessons and I don't know, something in there. And then coming up on the lava lounge, which I peeked through the windows and it looks really cool. Nice place to just kind of hang out. And then beyond this, so here's these trailers, which I would like to see be used for low-income families and possibly seniors. It's a nice little You got a nice view. Nice around here. There's a lot of prairie dogs and stuff. A lot of birds chirping. So it's very peaceful. And it's surrounded on 3 sides by a golf course. But there's, as you can see, there's also fencing. So there's some security. Oh, okay, so that's the area that I said that was sort of had, you know, picnic tables and stuff over there. This area I could see is if you had, oh, I think that's Bluebird. I could see like a bunch used for vets. And you put up a bunch of tough sheds and have it be sort of like a campground and have them be able to get access to buildings for, you know, bathing and bathrooms and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think that would be really cool to have like a little campground thing of tough sheds. And a lot of people, a lot of homeless people do not like the shelters. They like their privacy. So if you could get them a little 10 by 10 tough shed where they can store their stuff and they can feel safe, I think a lot of them would appreciate it. Here's another residence up here. I mean, pretty much most of them are going to be residences. But see how empty it is. Look at this. There's absolutely nobody parked there. And I don't know how many rooms there are. But you could easily have, you know, like dorms. You could have one for women, one for men. You could have one for seniors that need a little, you know, looking after. One for students, you know, college students. And I envision this as something where people chip in and they do work. So let's say if you're at a residence in your dorm, but then you do work around, you know, landscaping and painting and helping other people with, you know, with whatever needs that they have, that you could get sort of upgraded to a better residence, like maybe like a trailer. And I think in terms of if you had seniors here, they could look after the family's kids when people are at work, or you could have up there coming up soon. There's going to be a bunch of classrooms, so you could have an after-school program, and the seniors, if they're, you know, with it and healthy, could do the after-school program, and then the college students could help out with tutoring and helping, you know, people like the families, you know, with resumes or single people that are looking for work. Okay, so in this area, this is weird because it used to be like a little farm area. So you'd have, there was a big cage over there that had like monkeys or something in it, and then they had a thing for geese, and then they had a couple ponies and a horse, and they had some, over there were some bunnies, there were a bunch of birds. But they took all that out. I don't know what they did with the animals. I hope they found them a nice home. But then they put all this in, and which seems strange because if they're closing it, why did they put in brand new fitness equipment? So I don't know. Hopefully that will be used in the future, and it won't just be for, because they just put it in like a year and a half ago. But yeah, all that fitness equipment is for people that have, you know, some sort of physical disabilities. So these are mostly residences. Some of them could be have some offices, but I think they're residences again. And now this building, I think, still has some people in it. There's not too many buildings that, as you can see with the cars. And then there's some trailers over there. I think those are being occupied by the employees. But they could be, like I said, used for families or so forth. building used to be, they used to have a sign up, they called it the Sewing Center. So, I don't know which. Oh, Fashion Center. You can barely still see it. This is Fashion Center. So, over to your left. This has, it's a bunch of classrooms, and they have a nice little, some fields back there behind it. An education center. And yeah, it just got a bunch of classrooms. So you could actually have, if you had an after school program, and you could have kids in the community or people, you know, families that live here, have like little tutoring and after school programs. And then they have that nice soccer field. I do see people from the community, some school groups, come and use that soccer field. Not that much, but I have seen people come in and do that. And this is a donation center. So I'm thinking that would be really cool to use it, have people from the community donate. There's so many people that throw away stuff like, couches and furniture and stuff that could be refurbished and used. Oh, so this, with these, that they're going through and they're tossing out stuff, they're sort of basically gutting the buildings in preparation of the closure. So that's been going on for a while now. Yeah, if this were going to be used, you would have to resurface the asphalt and do some ADA work, but that's relatively minor considering what the cost to start from scratch for permanent supportive housing and emergency shelters. Cities are spending a couple million to do the lighthouse transitional shelter, and then they're setting up a permanent shelter for homeless that's going to cost a lot more millions, and then they're obliged by Judge Carter to provide 2,700 permanent supportive housing units. So that's going to be a lot of money too, but that's for the whole county, is for the 2,700. But they're spending millions of dollars on providing brand new stuff for homeless shelters and permanent supportive housing. And you have all of these, plenty of room, plenty of offices and facilities and stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention. I don't know. I'll just drive around here. Almost past it. Let's get back here. So this one, it's got its own police department on site. So if you had homeless people, or if you had low-income people, you could easily, you have somebody keep track, if there were any issue, they're right there. And then the Costa Mesa PD wouldn't have to be bothered. And I'm sure they're not happy about having to deal with the homeless. So you can take care of everything right here. And then if you want to get a shot of the donation center. And you could put people to work there. They could be refurbishing stuff and running the store. They could be making some income for this facility and also providing them with jobs. As you can see, so this is at the end of the golf course, and then there's very little housing that surrounds it. This is an apartment complex that has a bunch of Section 8 residents. There are actually some people with developmental disabilities that are minor that live there, and I know several. So they're sort of tied to the community a little bit. Similar residences. there's a lot of landscaping and plants and trees and so forth. Like, look at that little courtyard in there. Look how nice that is. I mean, how peaceful. Like, I could totally see that, like, for senior citizens, right? You know, they're in these dorms and they come out and they're out in the nice sunshine. We're almost done, but now they close these gates at night. And as you can see, there's all these block walls. So, yeah, they close it off at night. So it's, you know, safe there. Okay, so over to the left, that used to be, I'm not quite sure what they're using. I think they're using as a residence now, but it was sort of like a nursing facility. Up here, coming up to your right, is the print shop duplicating. So that could be used, you know, basically you could set it up where people could have jobs doing printing or something else, but, you know, some kind of a workshop. And then over to your left here, I'm dyslexic, so I say right and left wrong. So you have the laundry facility. That could be another source of jobs. You know, people that live here could work for their keep, essentially. They could learn, you know, they could get good job references that they could take on for their jobs. Okay, they have their own on-site power plant. That's how big this place is. Seriously, it's huge. So with that one, I mean, and then that's something that keeps the cost down. You know, if they're providing their own power, they're doing their own laundry. They've got, let's see, here's a warehouse. So take care of all that. And then the main kitchen. So that could be another source of jobs. People could kind of work their way up. I think that's a water tower. I mean, water tower, but I'm not quite sure. So did you think it would be this big?
No.
Most people probably think it's like a community center. They don't have any idea. And I think the thing that gets to me is how empty this is, and how when there's such a huge need, you know, both for homeless people, you know, low-income families, students, seniors, vets, women that are trying to escape from domestic violence. You know, there's so many people that could use a place like this, and it's a lot more humane than sticking them in with some of the shelters the way that they have them now. The way they take one big room, they fill it with bunk beds, and it's just like bright white walls and the smell of Lysol, and people are crammed in there. I've talked to a lot of homeless people that can't stand it because their stuff still gets stolen. They have absolutely no privacy. Can you imagine sleeping in a room with like 100 other people and hearing everybody snore and talk and, you know, walk around? And I mean, how are you supposed to sleep? I mean, it's like jail. I mean, in jail they put, you know, 50 beds in one room and just no way to sleep at all. So, and we're coming back on the administration building. Okay, so this is housing. I think it was for, like, kind of, I'm guessing, I think it was sort of like for executive staff. You know, like the, you know, main caretakers and stuff like that. I really don't know if that's still what it's used for. And kind of like this. They always have like little, you know, sometimes they'll have informative stuff about what's happening here, but sometimes they just have like, you know, cool little quotes. So that's kind of fun just to pass by here. Yeah, and then, so there's not too many houses that are over there, but for the most part it's separated. And then this is a new development up here, which is really walled off and really gated. So that's, you know, in terms of, I don't really think that you're going to have a lot of problems with people trying to break in over there. Even, you know, if somebody wanted to. Maybe if I pull over here, can you wrap it up with, can you get out and take a picture of that sign and just kind of pan around the intersection? Oh, right here too is there's a bus stop right here, Harbor Boulevard. There's a 43 that runs along here. It'll take people down to the...
How you doing?
Hi, pretty good.
You guys work here?
No.
Okay, what was the video camera for?
Oh, I've got a petition. There's Sharon Quirk Silva has, she's wanting to use Fairview for mental health facility. And I'm just trying to encourage people to keep the facility open. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's a kind of a hospital facility, so they don't want
Oh. No, I'm not checking in on it. It just is a general, like, doing a tour.
What was your name?
Margaret
Last name?
Sharp. Yeah, I live across the street, and I go around, I walk around here all the time, and I take pictures and stuff all the time. Nobody's ever said anything.
I mean, this is definitely a facility that should be open.
Okay.
So you're petitioning to keep it open?
Yes.
That's all I needed.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good day.
Yeah, there's somebody behind us. Oh, yeah. So there's that. And then also there's like I said, there's a 43 bus that comes along here. And then right at the corner, a couple blocks down at Harbor and Wilson, there are two other buses that can take people to the senior center. Orange Coast College is like literally like 4 or 5 blocks. So for the college students, it would be awesome. Seniors, and then there's shopping center. I'm gonna pull out. But yeah, with the shopping center, there's Albertsons and a whole bunch of stores over there. Home Depot and Rite Aid, so if people need prescriptions. That one with the bus stop. So yeah, it's you know, it's not far away from, you know, places that people might need to go. Anyway, I hope that the powers that be do not close Fairview. I would like to see the residents that live there. Just gonna pull over some park here. I would like to see the residents that are there now be able to stay there, the people with developmental disabilities, because a lot of them really need the place, and that's been their home for many, many years. But I think we can keep it open, and I think that we can utilize it to its full facility, full capacity for people. There's a lot of people that really need it. It would be inexpensive. It would just help people, so I want to see it used the best way. I don't want to see golf course homes because we don't need any more. So hopefully, please everybody, let's keep Fairview open and help our help other people, people that really need it. Need affordable housing. Thanks.